Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to all the listeners from around the world that are tuning into this radio broadcast today. I am Tammy Markee, your host of Tammy Markee Radio Show, sponsored by Millionaires in Training Radio. We are based out of Houston, Texas. Listeners, please let me share a little bit about myself. I am a native of New Orleans, Louisiana. I am a concerned humanitarian, co-author, international human rights activist, evangelist, entrepreneur, and forex trader in a $5.3 trillion daily market. Also, I'm a columnist for Kish magazine called Dynasty of Dreamers and founder of Dynasty Dreamer International. Well, listening audience, Candace Michelle will be co-hosting today's show. She is a kingdom advocate and author. Candace is the visionary steward of Wise Living International, a nonprofit organization, and director of Wise Living Group powered by eXp Realty, LLC. Currently, Candace Michelle lives in Pearland, Texas, where she furthers her kingdom mandate to empower, inspire, educate, and encourage others to move from existing to living. You can follow her on Facebook at Candace Michelle and Instagram at The Real Candace Michelle. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a talented lady on today's show. She is a true example of a dynasty dreamer, and that spirit is going to be our outstanding show. We on the radio broadcast today with Keli Chevalier. Yes, Keli Chevalier. I am supremely thrilled that Keli Chevalier is our highly distinguished guest today. She is an international recognized leader, builder, and groundbreaking entrepreneur who has facilitated and empowered countless people to the financial and personal prosperity of them in their community. She's a legendary pioneer in the field of storytelling and a world-changer woman of historical dimensions. She shares core values of empowerment and entrepreneurship with many. She is a retired United States Army major, spent 2 decades developing her storytelling skills under extreme pressure while serving as a public affairs officer in United States Army. Keli's recent retirement from the military has afforded her the opportunity of a lifetime to continue service to others as a motivational speaker, head a nonprofit organization dedicated to female veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder, and a proud owner of Word Slay Creative Agency. She also established the Island Night and the first Army newspaper on Okinawa. Having worked primarily as a public affairs officer for 1-, 2-, and 3-star generals, Keli is very experienced in the art of leadership and influence. She is also the inventor of the Perfect Pocket Pitch Deck, the world's only universally effective storytelling tool that helps you masterfully create keynotes, sales pitches, website copy, email campaigns, and more in minutes. Keli is honored to have helped more than 600 clients develop their stories and create more impactful brand messages through her coaching. She was featured in the Houston Chronicle Huffington Post, has made appearances on Steve Harvey Show, Good Morning Houston, and Advance Your Reach National Conference. Keli helps entrepreneurs discover who they are, find their inner strength, and maintain grace under fire, while challenging individuals to recognize and overcome their fears of writing to sell. Most importantly, she helps others recognize their self-worth so they can capitalize on the most valuable asset, their personality. Keli completed her master's degree in human relations from the University of Oklahoma. She's a certified John Maxwell public speaker and author of Get Up, Get Dressed, Get Out. She resides in Houston, Texas, with her 3 incredibly handsome sons, Carlos, Nathaniel, and Jude, and her husband, Max, a Jackie Chan lookalike. She hates cats and loves tacos. Well, today's episode is called Get Up, Get Dressed, and Get Out. Welcome to the phenomenal world of Keli Chevalier. How are you doing today, Keli?
I am fantastic, Tammy. Thank you for having me.
You are so very welcome. We are absolutely thrilled to have you on the radio show today. You have such an incredibly rich resume. And I love your name. Can you pronounce your name for the listening audience for us?
I would love to. I'd love to. So my name is Keli Chevalier. It's French.
Yes, it is. Absolutely beautiful names. And, like, again, we are so thrilled to have you on, Keli, and you have an incredibly rich resume and such an impressive roster. Can you give us a synopsis of your eventful life? Let us have a closer examination of the life of Keli Chevalier. Give us a little bit more about yourself.
A little bit more. Well, sure. So I grew up in Houston, Texas, and my parents were working class. My father was an engineer. My mother was a school teacher, and I grew up thinking I was pretty smart. Right? A lot of people can identify with this. Right? You go through high school and you're like, oh, I don't really have to, do all my homework. I could wait till the last minute and still pass the test. Right? So I thought I was pretty smart. And then I got to college, and I was studying pre-pharmacy, and I'll never forget him. It was Dr. Thurston, organic chemistry, and he was like, you think you're the smartest girl in the room, but you're just barely average. And what I realized at that moment was, you can coast through a lot of things, but when it really matters, you got to put forth some effort. You really got to work at it. And I didn't want to be average, but at that time of just, kind of goofing around and thinking I was better than I was, I ended up joining the military. So I lost my scholarship at TSU. I was at Texas Southern University. I lost my scholarship and ended up joining the military. But, it turned out that was the best thing that ever happened to me. 20 years of service in the military, I learned quite a bit about just relationships and leadership and cultures, how to navigate life under stress, and and encouraging others. So I don't regret it one single bit. That's
absolutely.
My life in a
what
nutshell.
You share with us, Keli, is such a compelling, ambitious journey to success, which is truly highly illuminating, fascinating, and incredibly guidepost to greatness, I must say, instructed guidepost to greatness. And let's talk a little bit about economics. What do you feel will be the adequate address to the crippling economic issues prevalent among people today?
So I thought about this question a lot lately. My father and I like to solve the world's problems from our armchairs. So we think about this a lot, especially when we're watching the news. And it's like we think people are skeptical. Most people are skeptics. And it's my belief that skeptics are always broke. You cannot just assume that you can wake up every morning and go to your 9-to-5 job and it's going to always be there for you. The recent shutdown has proven that, and many other, the housing crisis has proven that you cannot rely on just what's out there, what you see in front of you. You're going to have to take some risks and take some chances. And I think if we really want to face the economic crisis, especially facing African Americans, we're going to have to take some more risks. And that means looking at your God-given talent, looking at what it is you do well, no matter what that is. Ladies, I was watching an episode of this YouTube channel the other day where these ladies have come together and they have built a multi-million-dollar fortune around teaching women to respect their women parts. Okay. So like a multi-million-dollar company just creating this little circle of women and saying, let's respect ourselves for who we are. I'm telling you, you can make a fortune doing whatever it is that you believe in. And you just have to take the risk and go out there and do that. And I know that's easy for me to say because I've retired and I have money that comes in, but I'm going to tell you this. I would have done it anyway. Even while I was in the military, I had a side hustle. I strongly believe in the side hustle. I strongly believe in having multiple revenue, multiple streams of income, because you just never know. Even for me, I have a retirement coming in from the government, but do you honestly believe I'm going to sit back on my laurels and just collect my check? Heck no. I don't know what the next president or this president is going to do. I don't know if that check is going to stop any day. I can't rely on that. I can only rely on my God-given talents, putting it out there in the world, taking a risk that people will trust that I know what I'm talking about, and that's how we make money. That's how we do this thing. So I just encourage anybody listening today, look inwardly and find out what is that talent. Even if you started a T-shirt business, there's millions of businesses that you can start for little to no money, under $100. If you don't know how to do that, email me and I will show you how. You can start making another stream of income.
Those are words of wisdom that you're sharing with the listening audience, because we have to go and unlock those economic powerhouses, because so many people are going through this economic morass and they don't know what direction to go in with their finances. And even though we have so much information on the World Wide Web, people are really not getting it, what they should do with their finances and be able to expand their portfolio. So this is the reason why we have shows like Millionaires in Training to bring experts like you in, so they can help give people the strategies and kind of guide them in a direction to go in, even with businesses. Even what you mentioned about businesses, small businesses. Small businesses are the backbone of the American economy, and sometimes you could start a small business for less than $100.
Absolutely.
So that's really profound what you just shared with us. But because of this economic inequalities and economic disparities, we want to be able to empower people, but give them the tools that they need. And you're giving people the tools that they need. So we have to go in and empower the people with financial literacy, because sometimes it's the lack of education or even the way they've been taught growing up about the relationship with money. So what you share with us is very, very key to propel us to the next level in our finance. Like you say about multiple streams of income. Yes, multiple streams of income are the keys that you need so you can have that quality of life that you so rightfully deserve. And I believe that Candace can speak a little bit further on this, because she can talk a little bit more about the furlough situation. And I just want to make another point. Even in the African Americans, the consumers spend $1.1 trillion a year in consumerism. Yeah, so we want to go in and be able to empower the people. And even Dr. George Fraser, he said that black people, to become the next number one employer of black people by the end of the 21st century. Yeah, so he is an expert on financial in the African American community. He's empowered African Americans. So I love what you said about that, and you are actually giving people the blueprint. Like T. Harv Eker, he says that it comes from down to your subconscious financial blueprint is not set for success. Nothing you learn, nothing you know, and nothing you will do will make a difference. So we have to change our mindset, and that's the reason why we're going into emancipate the minds of the people, so they can change their mindset of how they've been thinking and the relationship that they had with money. So I'm going to turn it over to Candace so she can expound a little bit more on this.
Oh, thank you so much, Tammy. And welcome again, Keli Chevalier, to the Tammy Collins Markee Show. I know I co-host sometimes, but I feel like I'm a part of the listening audience every time because of the amount of information that is shared to us and from our wonderful guests like yourself. And I do have something to add to the conversation vis-a-vis these economic crises that are hitting us, and I call them economical because it's economics, but diabolical. so things. I work for the government. I still work for the government, and one of the things I do realize is that with the I say shake up, but really that shutdown did shake me up. Because sometimes we, even when we pursue multiple streams of income, something you said, Keli, was so key. We don't really pursue it the way we should, and then we complain when it's not profitable. Well, here's the thing. It's income streams. We won't want just revenue streams. If it's income, then that means we have successfully operated as a going concern. So we're in the black. We're not in the red. It's income, and that means that we're participatory. We are wrapped up like you are sharing with the listening audience today. And I just want to talk about this next topic. Keli, I've reviewed your beautiful website. You guys go check her out, Keli Chevalier, but we'll get to that in a minute. But she has so many good and awesome tools for those who are pursuing these income streams and like, purpose. It could be a business, it could be a big dream, small dream, but there are tools out there. There's knowledge, and people perish from the lack of knowledge. Can you